With marketing like this, I can't quite figure out why this movie failed. IGN doing its best to prop up this movie, brings out Goose the cat, and interviews the kitty for the movie. Wow, I can't believe this movie failed. It's crazy to me. And you know what's even funnier? You still have outlets out there wondering what happened. Maybe the Marvels performed poorly because the MCU and its fan base are getting old, literally. And this is true. I did talk about this in yesterday's video. Gen Z did not show up for this movie. But I think that has more to do with the fact that they don't give a shit about these characters. They don't care. And I don't blame them. Don't blame them. Nobody cares about any of these characters they're trying to push. It was a stupid business decision to move the MCU in the direction that it's been going since Endgame. I'm surprised nobody's really been fired yet, especially Kevin Feige, who I think takes direct responsibility for all of this. I mean, he is the man in charge of everything now. He's literally made it that way by propping himself up. I think he's overrated, to be honest. A lot of the people that were in the MCU when it was good are gone. And now it's just been disastrous decision after disastrous decision. Your phase 4 and 5 are, I think phase 4 is done, but phase 5 is literally just as much of a dud as phase 4 has been so far. So I just don't see anything getting better. They're doubling down on everything. Reed Richards is now an old Latino man. I'm not really sure why they're casting someone who's almost 50 years old in a role that you would want someone to play for, I would imagine, at least 2 decades. So Reed Richards is going to be 70 years old. Though it doesn't really matter because that movie is all about Susan Storm. So that's exciting. That's the Fantastic Four everybody's been waiting for, I'm sure. But let's take a look at these numbers because they are quite pathetic. 87% drop. Rejected by audiences with mixed reception and with 4 new, better-received films in town, The Marvels collapsed on its second Friday at U.S. box office, grossing just $2.8 million. Damn, that is pathetic. Think about that. Friday, big movie night. This movie only made $2.8 million. That is bad. Terrible Eggs with a steep 87% drop. A negative record for comic book movies from previous Fridays opening day. So an 87% drop. I was close. I said we could see 90. Damn, maybe today. Maybe today we'll see that 90% drop. The Captain Marvel sequel hits a 57.66 U.S. total, eyeing a 9 through 11 million second 3-day weekend, and a 81 through 76% drop in the U.S. To put this in perspective, Birds of Prey for the Friday after opening weekend, 51%. Blue Beetle was 73%. The Flash was 81%. Dark Phoenix 83%. Morbius 83%. This movie rightfully takes its place as having a worse weekend than all of these movies combined. That is something. That is special. Lowest second Friday ever for the MCU versus The Incredible Hulk at 69% drop and Ant-Man at a 68% drop. I'm glad finally that the Hulk comes out of these records and is no longer going to be looked at as the lowest. And that's the one good thing that's coming out of this, because The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton, I don't think that that's a bad movie. Maybe some of you disagree and you don't like it, but I actually like that movie. I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. It's actually, in my opinion, pretty good. It just had the unfortunate circumstance of coming after Iron Man. I don't know if that movie came out after Iron Man 1 or 2. I don't remember. I think if that movie had came out later in the MCU's timeline, when things really got popping, because it didn't really get going until we got closer to Avengers. But imagine if the Hulk could have came out a little bit closer to that Avengers hype or after it. That movie probably would have done really good, but it is what it is. Pathetic numbers, nonetheless, for the Marvels. Hunger Games not doing any better. Hunger Games is getting crushed as well. Here's from Deadline. Update Saturday a.m. The Hunger Games Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes came in with 19.1 million Friday. Though right in the range of where we saw it yesterday, the Suzanne Collins prequel is bound to file under 50 million projection plus 44 through 46 per industry estimates. After the Marvels posted a franchise low for the Marvel Cinematic Universe of 46.1, isn't Songbirds and Snakes a misfire? Not necessarily, and at a 100 million plus production cost, 65% of which is funded by foreign sales, and another 20 million in German tax credits. The Lionsgate Francis Lawrence directed movie is structured completely differently financially than the 200 million the Marvels. By the way, the Marvels needs to make, at least according to some industry outlets, $700 million to make money. It needs to gross $700 million just to break even. And I don't see that happening. Songbirds and Snakes is a little different. It's cheaper, and they've got some other things going for it. That movie, even if it underperforms and looks shitty at the box office, might do okay. I'm curious to what Valiant Renegade has to say about it, because he's really good with these numbers. So we'll see. We'll see what he estimates and puts out there. I'm sure he'll make a video or something on it very soon. But anyway, disastrous weekend for girl bosses. Not doing very good. Once again, proving people don't like these snarky girl bossy people that just think they're better than everybody. Though I got to give it to Brie Larson. She has not said anything stupid so far. If anything, I think that's helped the movie do a little bit better. But everyone seems to think if she was out there complaining about white men, that the movie would have an even better box office. So, I don't know. A big misstep for Marvel here on this one. I'm certainly enjoying it, because now we can finally put that Captain Marvel talk to rest. The only reason that made money, the only reason that movie made any money, is because it was sandwiched between the two biggest movies of all time, at least in the modern era of Hollywood. Without those two movies, Captain Marvel would have been a shit dud like it should have been. And I think that the case is officially rested now on that movie, thanks to the catastrophic failure of the Marvels. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all this. I would like to hear from you. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals, and I will see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my Locals.